Welcome to Fear of Fabric with Sand Art Studio. Okay, so unless you're planning on only painting nudes and you're happy not to have curtains in your interiors, still lifes without tablecloths, the chances are eventually you're going to have to paint some fabric. And I know many of you are a little bit anxious about that, which is why you asked for the video. So I've got a demonstration coming up with my best advice. I want you guys to just chill. You always do better when you're confident and happy. Okay, so beach towels. Let's imagine that you want to paint a beach. You're in charge, right? And you say, Luce, I want to paint a beach with lots of towels on it. And then you bring me this image. You know what I'm going to say, right? Yeah. Those are towels. Yeah. She's going to make the face. I know it. She's going to make the face. It's the same as if you wanted to paint a cat. So you can imagine you bring me a cat. I want him to see him in a cat-shaped pose, not in some weird, like, crazy slug-like pose. Okay? This guy's really cute, but he's not very cat-shaped. Without really careful attention to detail or some really radical painting where you just don't give a toss, he's open for interpretation. I'm just gonna pop this in here. Yeah, is it a cat or is it a cap? Yeah. So you can see how it could be misinterpreted. And this little guy is adorable, but has no arms or legs. And then we've got this fellow here who I know how he's feeling. Yep. Now this one anyway is what I'm talking about. So it's a cat-shaped cat. Half the work is done for you. So when it comes to your beach towels, don't go the fancy ones. No, go the ones that look more like, you know, they're hanging or they're laying flat on the beach, you know, like beach towels, not all bunched up, okay? Speaking of bunched up, one more time we're feeling, this is really nice, but it's probably not your best bit for painting gold or satin. You're better off going with something that's hanging, because then you can look for the triangles. Okay, I'm going to be painting my dress for the demo. Because you can tell it's my dress because it's got paint on it. Drapery's always got triangles, so go on my triangle hunt, and this is sort of what I see when I look at the drapery. So it's not just flat, it's, yeah. So I'm going to be working monochromatically with just my grayscale, probably the dark end of it. Hi everybody. Okay, so this is my palette, and you can tell it's my palette because it's got paint on it. Ooh. I'll just talk you through this first little bit, and then when I've done that I can turn this over to, I've got my background painted. Yeah, so I'm going to start by getting the overall shape in. And I'm scaling it up a bit so that I've got wiggle room to kind of make it a little bit more characterful. So I'm following the contour of this, of my image with my eye, and I'm just kind of using these negative spaces around it to navigate where everything is. Once I've got it mapped in like that, I can start mapping in the other major features. So back to those triangles I was looking for. Now the biggest one that you've got in this is from here to here. So I'm going to sketch that in right away. I have a feeling my head's going to be in the way here. Okay, and then next to that on here is another fold, sorry, a crease really. It's where the light is, the fabric is pulling away from the light, so that in there is like that. Now there's a little light, like dimple, sort of like a, I don't know, it's like a crease, it's not a really deep sharp crease, and then there's a smaller one, and then we've got a really defined one on the edge. So this gives us a really good range of different types of folds to look at. But what I'm probably going to do now is switch over to time lapse. I'm starting with the shadows and the valleys that are in between the folds. The first thing you paint will be the furthest away, like I sneak in some highlights around that so that the folds stick out. So they sit forward, and then all the dark areas move back, and it gives you form, that kind of ripply, kind of fabric bunched look. My head's in the way here. Once the darkest darks and the lightest highlights are established as the peaks and valleys, I go back and I soften and blend in places. Oh, I'm wearing evening wear. You saw my pants. Overblending wipes out the form that I worked to establish. You can see I'm wearing pajamas. So anyway, I go back and forward and I tweak the contrast until it's however makes me happy. That's better. So the fabric's really soft in real life. I'm using like a light runny acrylic wash to crosshatch some texture over it. I want to add some interest. It's a really shabby kind of runny background, so I want the garment to look like a nice natural open weave, kind of a bit coarse. I'm nearly finished. At this point I'm just finessing, and the wet point paint's really shiny. Yeah. Okay, that's drying though. Okay. Anyway, so I pop a shadow around it to stop it floating like a sticker on the wall. And then that dip at the front, I decided I didn't like it. So instead I changed it from an outie to an innie to an outie. And I like the composition better now. It's still not great, but I have to call it a night because this is just a demonstration. It's not a standalone artwork. So there you have it. That's how I tackle fabric. Hopefully you will be able to tackle fabric with a bit more confidence when you do next. If you'd like a slower version of how I do it, I can make a full-length real-time video, but yeah, unless enough people actually want that, I'm not going to bother to go to the trouble. So let me know, and I will see everybody in the Zoom meetings. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care then. Bye.